And welcome back to the DK Podcast Show. I'm Kelton.
And I'm Dustin.
And I'm actually sitting beside the new Little League and Pee Wee County champion?
No, it's Jr-Pee Wee.
Jr-Pee Wee.
And Pee Wee.
And Pee Wee County champion. One of the coaches here. Tell us about how the season went.
I'm more like the...
head coach?
No, I'm more like the equipment manager is what I was going to go with. I go get the pads out and I'm ready to go at practice.
Like an Edmonds of the group.
Yeah, I'm like a Josh Edmonds of the football coaching staff. So I bring hot ham warmers and talk too much, you know. So it's been a wild ride. So we made a move this year and we're over at Midway. Thanks to my buddy over here. He had to take care of my boys while we were gone, and some shit hit the fan. And so, so we're little Midway Eagle chicken heads, is what I say. I think it looks like Midway, the hit way. So both boys went undefeated this year.
That don't happen often.
So the Jr-Pee Wee for Midway has never went undefeated.
And that's what, Hey-Hey's?
Yes, yeah. So Hey-Hey is a second grader. And so he plays middle linebacker.
Yeah, I know.
He shouldn't have. He shouldn't have. Not at the beginning of the year, at least.
Oh, dude, he'll be all right.
Oh, no.
He's just got to get a little bit faster.
A little bit faster?
Quite a bit faster.
Yeah, he's slow as a box turtle. But he gets to the hole.
Yeah.
And he eats up his hole. So
he fills the gaps.
He fills gaps. He gets it from his dad.
Filling the gaps.
I played a lot of linebacker, filling gaps. So he played pretty good. I didn't coach him as much. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit hard to coach. Hey.
Well, I mean, they're both practicing at the same time.
Yeah, so. But I sort of had to pick and choose, and he doesn't do as good with me personally. So you know, some kids respond well to their parents.
Yeah, he's
not so much. So, but yeah, so he's playing pretty good. They about lost their very first game of the year. It was the very last play of the game. They had a face mask, so they got an untied down and scored a touchdown to win the ball game. Jay's team, on the other hand, pretty much beat the absolute piss out of most of the teams in the league.
Yeah, wasn't one of the games like 60-0?
66.
Yeah, 66-0.
66-0.
Pee Wee football game.
Yes, and we got a lot of complaints about that, but we only had 16 kids on our team total. So we played everybody. It ain't like we just like how you.
Well, I mean, if you're winning, someone's gonna be hating. Like that's just the fact
1,000%.
Like, if you're up, someone's gonna be down trying to bring you to their level.
Yeah. So we had that. We had a tough end of the year schedule though. So we stopped having such a big winning margin, and started playing a little bit closer competitions, but in the end, we won everything. I am still tired and still hoarse from it. Actually, if you hear why I'm so scruffy, it's from screaming plays and moving people around and things like that. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm a little bit vocal in life. So
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
So, what's some things like you did with your kids to like get them ready for the season? Because like, I don't know. Well, Jay loves football, and then Hey-Hey's going to do about what Jay does.
And that's the whole thing is Jay is like a little adult. I can literally talk to him in high school football terms and say, hey, you know, we got to work on this coverage, or our stance is off, or keeping our shoulders squared in the line of scrimmage, like stuff I didn't learn until I was in high school.
Yeah.
And Hey, he's just out there doing what his brother does. So they train a lot in the summer and spring. They've went to One Athletics over in Welcome, trained with Corey and Matt over there. We do a lot of speed work because my kids are slow. I mean, absolutely slow, but they got hearts of lions. So sort of make up for it from there. I was slow too, but we do that. We actually watch film. So, and I watch it just like I would if I was back in the day playing ball. And we just work on technique. I don't let my kids have bad technique.
Yeah.
And I don't let them it's not just see ball, get ball for the most part. It's real football.
Yeah, do it right.
Yeah,
Fundamentals first.
Fundamentals. Keep outside shoulder clean for Jay playing corner. Throwing fundamentals. Like I didn't even train Jay how to throw a football. Coach Ron works with us and is actually one of the other assistant coaches. He took Jay this whole summer, probably about twice a week, and they threw and worked on mechanics. So it's we've done a lot together. We went to Clemson.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, we took like 6 kids to Clemson. So a couple Ledford kids.
That'd be a good time though.
Oh, it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. So Dabo is 1,000% legit of the way he acts on TV is the way he was all week. So I've never heard anything but good things from him.
Yeah.
So we just go all the time. So I made a video this summer. It's Jay outside training, and it was absolute a frog strangler, and he's running the field
in the rain.
Yeah. And I'm like, "You ready to go in?" He said, "Nope, not done yet."
Yeah.
So he's a different breed, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
More of a man than I am.
So like Jay, like he's very advanced for his level. So if he decides he wants to play high school ball, like how do you think like the advantage over normal kids his age when they get to high school him? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, how much of a different advantage you think he'll have? Because, I mean, dude, this kid, like, you show him, he has, like, stick figures. You pull up a coverage, he'll sit there and name what coverage it is and what everybody's doing on that coverage. Like, I'm not kidding.
And what the weaknesses are if you're playing quarterback. So, and he's been doing that since he's about 5. So, actually, whenever Teddy first got here, that was 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
So, Jay was 6 then, and Jay was teaching Teddy coverages. And sooner than later, Teddy was a starting quarterback, but they didn't teach that at Lexington.
Yeah.
So, that's the big difference. And so it's I think the game's going to slow down for Jay sooner than later, a lot quicker than it is for other kids. I can see what's going to happen quicker. I think that he's going to be more like a very nerdy kind of football player, like Luke Kuechly kind of thing, where he knows what's going on before the play even happens.
Yeah.
When we watch film, we watch tendencies of players of if they got too much weight going one way, or looking at the direction that they're going, stuff like that. And it's wearing off on Hey too. That's the cool thing is like Hey told me the other day, he's like, "Daddy, I was 50-50 playing football for you and 50% for me." He says, "Now I'm 100% for me." And so I think that taste of winning it was a real fun for him this year. So instead of just riding the pine. So he rode the pine for most of the year last year.
I mean, that's good. I mean, it's going to happen every once in a while.
Oh, yeah, and it needs to.
At some point in your life.
If you're not riding the pine, that means that you're around good competition.
Yeah.
So Jay didn't play that much offense this year.
Yeah, he was the defensive headhunter this year.
Yeah, he was on defense for sure, and he locked down his corner for the most part. We had some bad plays here and there.
Yeah.
So, but it's been a blast this year. It was a lot of fun coaching with the guys. Very different atmosphere at Midway than it was for a junior nights program. A lot more tackling drills, a lot more aggression. Not so many like skill training and stuff like that, like individual groups. Yeah, so training. Let me get that snap because that was bothering me. So training wise, there's a big difference between the thought processes at Midway versus there was at North. It was a lot more aggression, a lot more tackling drills, not so much individual skills, bag drills.
More stuff that you'd probably focus on like later in the year. Because to me, I feel like tackling, like that's your fundamentals. Like that's what you need to be working on. Blocking, that's your fundamentals. Like learning the gaps, that's your fundamentals.
Yeah.
Not like working on these kids' footworks, like trying to make them faster right now whenever they need to be learning the fundamentals so that they can play ball efficiently whenever they get older.
Yeah, and I think that it helps out that those kids, they've grown up in that process and they know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like the tackling drills is next man up, go. Doesn't matter if you're a corner versus a lineman. You're going to tackle the lineman or the lineman's going to tackle the corner.
Yeah.
And so it's a little bit different demeanor off of that versus trying to set up like even matchups because not everybody's going to be even whenever you go play ball.
Dude, I've played against a daggum 5-star Georgia commit.
Yes, he was a stud.
Like, that kid was raw.
Yes.
It ain't going to hurt the kids to hit someone bigger. They need that.
Yeah. So that's actually what we do with Hey to get him quite a bit better. He got in trouble one day, and I started making him run with Jay's team because Jay's team practiced a little bit longer than Hay's did. So he'd come over, and he would run scrimmage with us, and I'd make him a offense or defensive lineman, try to get him in the gaps, give him a little bit of a look. I know it's a little bit younger, but we only have 15 players, so we got 4 subs and coaches is out there, the whole bag. So at least Hey gives them something to look at. And then Hey would be running sprints with the big boys and doing heels and bear crawls and everything else. And I think that's sort of what lit a fire up underneath him, is getting a little bit more competition too. So it's a bigger, a closer community feel this year for us too. It's been a world. I tell you, the question to ask is, after I say something about the community feel, be like, well, I've noticed since you had all those kids come over or whatnot, and we also hadn't talked about the donuts or that kind of stuff.
All right. Just take it off where you want it, and I'll throw
it in. So yeah, another big difference for us has been like the community feel. We got a ton of friends over at the Junior Knights program. Some of them are close, but it felt like everybody at Midway was y'all just tight knit.
Well, didn't y'all just threw like a team sleepover, something like that, didn't you? Like this past week?
So I might have had a little bit too much to drink.
Before or after the game?
A couple. It was well. This I might have had a little bit too much to drink this last week after the game, and decided I would do a poll and send it out into the team reach thing of it's the contact messenger for all the football players, parents, whatnot, of do you want to have a sleepover at Coach Owens' house after this week's ball game? Yeah, that was a bad mistake. And
how many kids showed up?
So, well, the questions were, this is the funny part. I tried to throw some other ones under the bus, and the questions were, yeah, I'm in. Nope. Yeah, I'm in if Coach Panuti comes, or yeah, I'm in if Coach Panuti and Coach Ron stay over too.
So Panuti's the head coach.
Panuti is the head coach.
All right.
And then Coach, he's offensive coordinator for the most part. And Ron changed his vote since he was an admin on the thing. So there was more just yeses than there was if Coach Ron and Coach Panuti came. Because originally it was if Coach Ron and Coach Panuti stayed, then that they would stay. So I think we had 12 over here out of 16.
Well, that's still a lot of kids.
Oh, that's
a lot of mouths to feed.
It was a lot of pizza, dude. There's still pizza in there. I think we.
He's literally got the leaning tower of pizza.
Yeah, sitting on my trash can, because that's always the worst part is like whenever you finish a pizza and you're like, what is this big box? Somebody needs to like start making origami shapes inside the pizza boxes, dude. That's $1 million idea right now. So we had all these kids over, and the parents hung out for a while. We had a good time. We actually shot a little bit of video. I got them to make impressions of different coaches. Most of the coaches did it because the kids were too afraid to make a fun of.
Fame strike? Is that it?
Yeah, they didn't. They weren't quite cool with the lights. But it was a lot of fun.
What about donuts for zeros.
Yeah, so we you got donuts for donuts. You throw a donut up on the wall or on the scoreboard. I took donuts to practice the next Monday.
So only if they got a shutout,
You only if you got a shutout, and it didn't matter if you were in the mercy rule and second string, third string, you had to throw a complete shutout. So Hay's team didn't get very many donuts this year.
Jay's team,
on the other hand, I bought 200 and some donuts by the end of the year. It was a very, very, very bad mistake.
there wasn't no Krispy Kreme donuts.
Nah, we
either.
went and got the red donuts straight from Lexington. Got the fresh ones too. I would go like literally right before practice and would get whatever was the freshest, best ones for my boys. So they had a lot of fun with that. It was a lot of donuts. It cost me a lot of money. So between pizzas and
that's
donuts,
a tax write-off, ain't it?
I think it should be. If not, I don't know.
It's going to organization.
Yeah, community service. Yeah. I don't know. So it's a good time. But yeah, that's.
I might have to come join you on the Midway coaching squad.
I tried to get you out there this last year. I'm just saying, man. With me, you, Austin, Coach Ron, I'll go up top. I'll coach from the press box, and let y'all handle the ones down low. That way I can have a voice again. So it's
You'll be a streamer from up top, don't? We'll have to get the headsets.
I burnt 1,400 calories during Jay's ball game. I was
literally.
It
went into 4 overtimes.
Yeah, it did go into 4 overtimes. They won on the last possession there. They got the ball last, so they stoned Lefford and went down and scored finally. But I literally thought I was either going to have a stroke or a heart attack. I started grabbing the backside of my head because I had so much stress in my neck. I didn't do anything yesterday. Absolutely nothing.
Jay, you made me late to the deer stand, man.
Yeah, he made me late for everything. That was the other thing. We're having people, all these kids were coming over to my house, and I was planning on watching the Little League game. And so because they ran an hour long, they literally played an extra ball game. So then I had like 2-hour window before these people were coming to my house, and I thought I was going to have a 3 or 4 hour window. Yeah, didn't end up real well, but my house was already a wreck. Those Nerf bullets there's still Nerf bullets everywhere. Like they're in rooms that I didn't even let them put them in because they like came up underneath the door sill and stuff. Like, I mean.
Hey, as long as they didn't touch in here.
Nah, I didn't let them play. I didn't let them come play in here. But yeah, I got them in bed by midnight. I threatened to beat them. I told them, I said, if you act up, I'm going to make you do up downs until your mom and daddy come pick you up. And I don't care if that's in the morning. Like, we're going to be outside doing up downs. So it was
They listened to that?
Yes, they did. They did. I came downstairs.
Where did they sleep at?
They slept this is the stupidest thing. Upstairs in Jay and Hay's room, there's.
Their new room?
Yes, there's 3 beds in there. They got a trundle bed, so it's a twin. They got the full what Hey sleeps on and a queen. So even if you don't want to share a mattress, which kids that age, I don't care. That is 3 people.
Yeah.
And then the playroom has a couch and
you can fit at least 3 more on there.
Yeah, exactly. You know where they went? They slept in the basement, dog. They slept in the basement. On those recliners. Actually, it's the same chairs we got right here.
The movie recliners.
The movie recliners. And then I have a little sofa down there that flops over and turns into another twin mattress. There was 4 kids that laid sideways on a twin mattress. Do you know how bad my back would be jacked up?
Dude, they're kids. They don't know.
I know, but I was like, what are y'all doing? So they wanted to sleep down there and watch a movie. So I let them watch a movie. And then about halfway through it, I heard footsteps coming up the steps, and I opened my door and I yanked it open and I said, "What y'all doing?" And one of them was like, "I forgot to get my medicine." And the other one was like, that was walking up there with him, was like, "Hey, and I was just coming with him." Like don't make me do up downs. And so got back all downstairs. I never heard another peep from him. It was midnight, but in the morning, I was just sitting upstairs. I could hear them sort of pitter-pattering in the basement, and they were afraid to come upstairs. It was 7:30.
They didn't think you'd be up.
No, they were afraid just to come up here. I guess I don't know. You can hear me walking around doing stuff, but they were afraid of me.
He's gonna make me do up downs.
Coach Owens doesn't want me upstairs yet. Yeah, so they were extremely well behaved. Do you know who the only problem child of the whole group was?
Probably yours.
Exactly. Hey, I hadn't even told you this story.
No.
Do you know what a love sack is?
Yeah.
You know, the bean bag.
Yeah.
So I got a love sack bag and decided to put all their stuffed animals inside of it.
Yeah.
My kid decides to crawl inside the love sack bag and zips himself inside the love sack bag.
And can't get out?
Not only can he not get out, when he pulled the zipper,
He broke it.
Nope, it flip-flopped it and got it off of the wrong one. So whenever one would unzip, the other one would go with it and so it wasn't really broke. So he's literally in this bag and all of his friends are sitting around him and he's like, I said, I'm going to kick your ass and you're paying for this. I don't care. Take all my money. I don't care. Just please get me out of here. So I finally got him out of there. It was quite funny to, whenever they came downstairs and it's like, hey, stuck in the beanbag. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, how do you get stuck?
And that was like the first 30 minutes of anybody being here. So, but hey is the one that also I told him when he had friends over, he wanted to ride his go-kart and show his friends. And the very first thing I said was, do not take this off of the concrete and don't try to show off. If you do, I'm gonna beat your tail. And what's he do? He runs it down in the woods and breaks the tie rod because he runs over a tree going full speed. And has a big old whelp on his head. So if I was gonna expect anybody to do something stupid and get in trouble, it was gonna be hey. So
yeah.
But for all in all, it was a great season, great group of guys. Made some new, really good friends for myself. Jay did. It was a good change. You know, it was hectic and a lot of crap going on, but it's all right.
Y'all got through it.
We got through it with the championships.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a good one.
On to next year. No off seasons.
Yeah. Are they playing basketball?
Not for the rec leagues. We're gonna go play.
Blue chip?
Yes, exactly. We're gonna go play some higher end basketball. Get a little bit more competition.
Sounds good.
We'll get to go yell and scream at those two.
Well, thank y'all for watching.
Yep. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
See y'all soon.
Go Eagles.